Social activists Nazma Muller and Dr. Kublalsingh continued their campaign for prison reform and pardons for non-violent inmates on Friday morning. Taking their campaign to the Ministry of National Security, Ms. Muller made a call for the Minister of National Security, the Director of Public Prosecutions, and the Attorney General to intervene. Cherrylene Lewis reports.
Activist Nazma Muller is questioning why the 100-plus inmates who were to be released for matters pertaining to minor marijuana offences to date have not been released.
These are people who in other jurisdictions would not even be in prison because they are non-violent, they are low risk. As far as I understand, cannabis has been decriminalized, so I don't understand how come it's still a crime and people are still being placed in prison for it. So this is what we look at. We need to look at. We need to have an overall holistic view of this system that keeps funneling, throwing our youth into prison willy-nilly at the slightest indiscretion.
She also held the prisons Commissioner Dennis Pulchin accountable, demanding that he make a statement on the issue.
You actually made this statement officially. You are going to release low-risk prisoners who are at the end of their sentences, to free up the prisoner and to abide by OSHA and health guidelines. And yet those lists are still sitting on Mr. Pulchan's desk.
The activist, well known for her stance on the issue of decriminalizing of marijuana, also criticized the slow process for trial dates for persons on remand.
We are demanding efficiency from the judiciary, from the criminal justice system, because it is now a joke and it is a travesty and a stain on our conscience that we have citizens of Trinidad and Tobago in prison for 20 years waiting for a trial, and we are paying for it. Right? So we are in an economic crisis, we are in a social crisis, because the families of these inmates, the families of the victims, have not gotten any closure, waiting for a trial that never happens.
Supporting her in her protest outside the Ministry of National Security on Abercrombie Street was another well-known activist, Dr. Kublalsingh. Cherrylene Lewis, TTT News.
In April of this year, Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi had indicated that due to concerns about the spread of COVID-19, as a precautionary measure, government was working towards decreasing the size of the prison population. He said of those being considered for release, 149 are in remand for minor offences, while 239 people are convicted for other offences. According to the Attorney General, these people would have their matters reviewed by members of the judiciary and, in other cases, by the President for a final decision.